Biden and deniability. The Department of Justice, under Joe Biden, can't simply decide to indict Biden's predecessor. They needed his permission, and in writing. President Joe Biden signed off on every raid and indictment against Donald Trump, along with Donald Trump's family, his presidential staff, and his personal lawyers. None of this would have happened without Joe Biden giving the nod. I still don't see how any of that is legal. If President Trump had given similar permission to persecute his predecessor, nothing of the sort would have happened, and the Department of Justice would have handed the House of Representatives President Trump's order, and he would have gotten another impeachment as a result. Now, I know it sounds like speculation. How could I know that Joe Biden, as president, signed off on the Maralago raid, on the other indictments? To know the answer to that, you have to understand the Joe Biden concept of deniability. He wants to be seen as having a hands-off approach to the Maralago raid and all of these federal indictments. We know this because Biden has done this before. Let's go back to the FBI's prosecution and then persecution of National Security Advisor Michael Flynn. Michael Flynn held this job under President Barack Obama. He saw Obama and Vice President Biden probably every day, or at least every week or month. He was let go of the job. Then he was offered the position again by Obama's successor, incoming President Donald Trump. FBI agent Peter Strzok, who would end up interviewing Michael Flynn for the official FBI questionnaire without legal counsel present, transcribed the following notes about a White House meeting regarding what to do about Michael Flynn being hired by Donald Trump as NSA, as reported by The Hill and others. The Strzok notes reportedly are from a January 5, 2017 Oval Office meeting by President Obama, later documented in former National Security Advisor Susan Rice's infamous email to herself on Trump's inauguration day. The timing is important because this was the day after the FBI closed Crossfire Razor, the Flynn investigation, January 4, 2017. The Justice Department confirmed the notes were from between January 3rd and January 5th, 2017. Any notes taken by Strzok on or about January 5th, 2017, even if they are from a briefing after the fact, seem particularly relevant. So what is it in the Strzok notes that might be problematic? First, Comey apparently advised the group that Flynn's phone call with Russia's former ambassador Sergei Kislyak appears legit. This is significant because it provides evidence that when Comey dispatched agents, including Strzok, 19 days later to interview Flynn, there apparently was not really a counterintelligence concern, which now appears to be the after-the-fact justification for the FBI interview. Notes by former FBI Assistant Director Bill Priestap, disclosed earlier, appear to validate this as well. Now, why is this important from the article? Because the FBI spent almost Trump's entire presidency prosecuting Michael Flynn on what appear to be trumped-up charges. A second important notation by Strzok reads, quote, VP, Logan Act, unquote, suggesting that Biden raised the idea of using the Logan Act, which forbids unauthorized citizens from negotiating with a foreign government. Since we know from recently released emails that former Acting Assistant Attorney General Mary McCord, Strzok, and FBI lawyer Lisa Page, Strzok's lover, all researched the Logan Act, it's unlikely that Biden pulled this out of thin air, if indeed he mentioned it. In other words, it likely was discussed by President Obama's staff before the January 5, 2017 meeting. The most problematic of Strzok's notations is from P, which widely assumed to refer to President Obama, reportedly saying, Make sure you look at things and have the right people on it, unquote. Can there be any doubt that, if President Obama gave such direction, FBI Director Comey likely felt completely emboldened to then send a couple of guys over to interview Flynn? That interview was used by the Department of Justice to prosecute Flynn for several years until finally pardoned by President Trump. Biden denied that he had any part of this, but Strzok's notes were that Biden himself raised the idea of abusing the Logan Act to go after Michael Flynn and prevent him from getting the job. They were willing to abuse federal law to crush what they perceived to be a political opponent, Michael Flynn. So what does this have to do with the Maralago raid and Donald Trump's indictments? There were no records kept of this 2017 meeting by Joe Biden. He denied any part in the Flynn investigation, yet he was the one suggesting using federal law to punish someone for working for the next administration, viewed as the enemy administration by Team Obama-Biden. What a smug, nasty group of arrogant people. They were all rehired for President Biden's incoming administration. Those not still working today for Barack Obama, the private citizen. The Obama quote from that meeting is most interesting. Read it again. President Obama said, according to Susan Rice's notes, "Make sure you look at things and have the right people on it." President Obama was a man used to bending, twisting, or breaking federal law to abuse the government to go after his political opponents. Make sure you look at things and have the right people on it. Doesn't that sound precisely how the Biden administration diverted massive resources into preventing Donald Trump from being able to run again in 2024? Everything about Biden's legal activities as president sounds like what President Obama directed and got away with just days before Donald Trump took office. The outgoing Obama-Biden administration was able to divert federal executive branch agencies to hamper Donald Trump's ability to govern and select staff, and they got away with it completely. With this clear precedent by President Obama in 2017, there was no reason that President Biden could not repeat this extra-legal persecution of Donald Trump and his staff once they were out of office. Even better, from the Biden administration's perspective, they had all of the resources of the federal government's executive branch starting in 2021 to reach out and crush not only Trump, but anyone who worked for him, which is precisely what they have done. Through all of this, Joe Biden expected deniability. No one recorded his suggested use of the Logan Act, a law passed in 1799 to achieve the ends of the Obama administration. It is now December 2023, and we don't have a single reporter anywhere in the entire country investigating whether Joe Biden ordered all of these raids and indictments of President Trump and his staff. They assist Biden in his deniability, as it's not wise to upset the powerful. Think about what Joe Biden said in 2017 in this Oval Office meeting at the White House. Biden is a government official who is used to rigging things behind the scenes to crush the political enemies of the Democratic Party. Most importantly, as of 2017, Biden knew that there is not a single high official in either the FBI or the DOJ that will block such partisan activities, that will reveal them to reporters or to the public. All of these executive branch agencies work exclusively for Obama and the Democrat agenda. Biden got away with twisting the law for political ends in the dying days of the Obama administration in January 2017. And when Biden took office in January 2021, his entire team of Democrat lawyers went right to work along the same lines, not working on problems facing the country. No, they went to work looking for angles of attack to 1. Punish Donald Trump for daring to be president for 4 years. 2. Punish anyone who volunteered to be a public servant under Donald Trump. 3. Punish Donald Trump now that he was a civilian with no government or political power to speak of. And 4. To punish Donald Trump for daring to think he could run again in 2024 and not have every Democrat-leading official in the federal government working to destroy him and his family. In fact, the Democratic Party seems rather gleeful that they can use every aspect of federal power to destroy the 45th president. No one in the Democratic Party seems to revere the founding of our country, what it stands for, or what the principles of our Constitution mean. All that matters is power, and right now the power is theirs, and no one will stop them from using it. I would just remind you that no matter what you think of President Donald Trump, he did not abuse any aspect of his office to go after his political enemies using the power of the presidency in the way that Joe Biden and his lawyers are doing right now, today. Thank you.